Hi, it's David from Life with Parkinson's. If you're new here, welcome. We hope you'll consider subscribing. Everybody else, thank you for coming back to watch this episode of Mild Cognitive Impairment and Parkinson's Disease. 3 things that we did not expect. There are a lot of things that we didn't expect from Parkinson's. But on the non-motor symptom side, this is probably the biggest one. Okay, there is a lot of information to unpack in this episode, so let's get right to it. One thing Hayley and I have noticed on the mild cognitive impairment side of Parkinson's is that the speed of progression seems to be a lot quicker than we initially thought. We don't know if this is some sort of idea we gained from a preconception that we got somehow from the doctors we were talking to about it, or if it's just from our own observations. It's really hard to nail it down. The mild cognitive impairment symptoms are really confusing because a lot of people I've been talking to lately say, "Boy, you look great, Dave. You look really, really good." And I've been getting that in the comments as well. And this is not a bad thing. Like when people say, "Boy, Dave, you look good," I'm like, "Thank you. Thank you for noticing me." It's really a comment. And I feel good lately. I feel that on the motor symptom side of things, I'm just kind of enjoying a little Parkinson's honeymoon. If you want to see what I've been doing, like what interventions I've been using, just watch my last few videos. But on the non-motor symptom side, things really haven't changed a whole lot. Like one thing that's come up lately is like acting on my dreams and talking in my sleep. That's been happening a lot. We'll talk a little bit more about other symptoms. The point is I don't want to get locked down by preconceptions. A tough question to ask you guys is, do you see your own disease? Do you see your own Parkinson's progression based on preconceptions that you picked up somewhere? Believe me, I'm not picking on you guys. I'm asking that myself. Are we living our disease towards our expectations? Are we living our disease towards what our preconceptions are? Do we see as a person with Parkinson's a certain way? They should act a certain way, talk a certain way, look a certain way. Well, heck, I hope not, because with every last breath I have, I'm going to fight back against this disease and try and roll back the symptoms as much as possible. And I hope you will as well. But that's just a thought that sprang up based on all the questions. And I like the questions. I love them. I love it when someone says I'm looking good because, gosh, darn it, I'll try anything to push back against Parkinson's. So thank you. Okay, the second thing we've noticed about mild cognitive impairment and Parkinson's disease are the variety of symptoms. And we'll talk a little bit about the ones that are kind of just bothering me right now. The first one would be just like the sense of reality. Like I'll be saying something to Hayley, and I'll be like, "You know what, honey?" Or we'll be talking about something, and she'll go, "Well, baby, 2 plus 2 equals 4. And I'm like, "Well, what are you talking about? Like 2 plus 2 equals 3. And she'll be like, "No, it equals 4. And I'll be like, "No, it equals 3. And this will be my hill to die on. Like I will argue this point over and over and over again until later I'll realize, oh my goodness, what was I talking about? 2 plus 2 does equal 4. She was right all along. So that's a bit of a confusing one. It's just like my perception of reality is fine. Like 95% of the time. It's that little bit, 5%, that just kind of bites me in the butt sometimes. It makes things hard to deal with, or like reality a little bit difficult to deal with. And it's something I just don't know how to explain. Like the only way I can explain is I'll be like 2 plus 2 equals 3, and she's like, "No, 2 plus 2 equals 4. I just don't know how to explain it any other way. Another area that is a bit challenging lately is short-term memory loss. Like Hayley will ask me to do something or get something, and I'll be like, "Yeah, I'm on my way." And like, let's say I'm going to go get her a glass of coffee from the kitchen. And I'll be on my way to the kitchen, and like something else will pop into my head and push getting her a cup of coffee out. And she'll be like, "Sweetheart, where are you getting me a cup of coffee?" I'm like, "Oh yeah, shoot, darn it. Let me get that for you now." So that's been a tough one to deal with as well. And it's hard. It's difficult to deal with that because on the outside I feel good lately. Like I'm getting up in the morning a lot more when I'm on. Like I'll wake up in an on state. I don't have to scrape myself off the bed or scrape myself off the floor as much lately. I can actually stand up. I don't have to crawl to the bathroom. So yeah, lately the motor symptoms are doing well, but the non-motor symptoms are a little bit more challenging to deal with. Maybe that's just because we're getting a little break. We're getting a little break from the motor symptoms, so maybe now we're concentrating on non-motor symptoms. That makes the most sense to me. Okay, third part of the video. The impact mild cognitive impairment symptoms would have on us. Well, the impact really comes down to, like, Hayley has painful endometriosis, and I've got these mild cognitive impairment symptoms going in the background. When you put them both together, it can become a very stressful situation at home. Not stressful because we want to attack each other, it's just that when Hayley gets bad, debilitating endometriosis symptoms, right, she's not able to watch out for me as much. And I'm okay on my own, like 95% of the time. So it's that 5% that I need help. And when she's not there to help me with it, it's really difficult to deal with. And stress increases those symptoms. So if she's down and out for a while, and I'm not saying she's pushing everything onto me, but when I've got to deal with stuff that she would normally deal with, it creates a lot more stress in my life, and the stress increases my symptoms. So then I just end up laying down on the couch, she's laying on the bed, and we don't get anything done. And that is a hard thing to deal with. And would you believe, that kind of stress is difficult on our little Kanya bird Kiwi as well. Because she can tell Mommy and Daddy are upset, and then she gets upset. So as an older parrot, she's like 8 years old now, she's getting set in her ways, and she likes things a certain way. So when we don't meet her pre-expectations, she gets a little crabby and difficult to deal with as well. I'm sorry, Kiwi, we love you very much, but we're always going to be here to take care of you the best way that we can. So, thank you for watching, subscribing, and liking this channel, and sharing it with your family and friends. Please leave a comment or a question down below. Thank you for continuing to take this journey together with us. I'll see you on the next one. Have a good day. Goodbye.